But yeah, so we still got one game. We're at 1-1 PvP Shakuris Plateau. I'm gonna just go ahead and call it 3-gate robo into a 3 to 4 base death ball push to see who wins.
Yeah, I would agree with that. A little bit of a difference, kind of in that game. Hoesa pushed the pace right there. I doubt Naccer. He's not gonna like freak out over and try to counter with the cheese himself like that. But I think they'll just go back to a standard game. Yeah, like you said, 3-gate robo.
Yep, yep. I mean, it would be awesome. This map is really good for proxy 2-gate, but I just don't feel like these players. I just don't feel like that's something that they would do.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, broadcasting Craft Cup a couple of weeks ago, there was it was a PvP Protoss player. He sends up like probes kind of pass each other almost as he's entering up the ramp. Goes into his spot, builds a pylon and 2 gates. Of course, the other Protoss in his main goes checks it out, sees the 2 gates, build 2 gates. Protoss just gets pissed at him. He's like, "You're so you're so bad. Who would look in their base for proxy thing?" So like, what?
Yeah. Nice, nice. Yeah, I remember. I was casting as Zeke European daily, and there was one guy, and it was like you had to be masters or higher if you wanted to be in it. There was a master level Protoss player that did forge cannon cheese, opened with that every single game, and got all the way to the finals. And he lost in the finals, but he won. Like, it was a best of 7, and it went into 3 games of 3 games. And the Zerg player was finally able to beat him in the 4th game. But every single game, he cannon cheesed. Every single game. It's crazy.
It's not worse. It's all it does kind of reminds me of In Control a little bit. Cannons. Every time I hear cannons, I think of In Control. So
Really?
yeah, he actually a lot of his openers had to do with cannons. He would cannon transition into it's kind of like almost like the Nubius like transition ever. You almost go from cannons into Void Rays or some kind of like Stargate push. It was kind of just funny thinking about it.
Cheese to cheese.
Yeah, cheese to cheese, like cheesier to cheesier. What was it Dana would put it? Like the Nubius transition ever. You go from cannons to DTs to Void Rays to mass Void Rays.
Yep, off one base.
Oh, kind of forgot for a moment, guys. Starting off at the bottom left, we got Naccer, our purple Protoss. And at the top right of the map, we got our green Protoss Hoesa, who just tied it up 1-1. For those that are watching, just tuning in right now, this is the European Amateur Cup number 4. We are in the Grand Finals, game number 3 right now. And with me right now is Mr. Cricket StarCraft himself. Look at that. How do you like that intro? Like,
Yeah,
Mr. Cricket StarCraft himself, yeah.
I felt like there was to be like theme music behind that.
Oh, I wish I had theme music behind mine. No, look at your YouTube video right there, right in the front. Like you got a good, like, nice little overlay. You almost look like Shoutcraft. Have you ever listened to Total Biscuit?
A little bit. Not a big fan.
Or at least his VODs or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you got that little overlay in the beginning of your video. It's cricket.
Oh yeah.
It's
You have a
cricket
little intro
star,
video.
little Cricket StarCraft.
Yeah, well, it's so fun because whenever you get a decent following, then subscribers just start making stuff for you, and that's really kind of where it gets fun, is because it's this team effort. People make intro videos, and one big part about my channel is my major that I graduated with was classical guitar. So I'll actually, when there's a lot of downtime at the beginning of each game, I do guitar solos, and so you can actually, it's like all different styles. Sometimes I'll do rock, sometimes I'll do folk, sometimes I'll do classical finger picking type stuff, and so just kind of gives a little breath of fresh air for those games. And people actually get really mad if I don't guitar solo before my videos now.
Well, no, that's awesome. That's kind of cool. It's like a nice little niche to the kind of casting. I think every caster should kind of have, or at least streamer casters should have their own like little thing too. It's kind of what makes the whole StarCraft community unique. Like for myself, it's my whole like bilingual aspect.
Yeah.
Like I do my whole like Russian English broadcast, and I could just like I flip automatically. Like there was like no chance. Sometimes people like absolutely miss, like I'm speaking English, like within half a second I switch right over to Russian. They just like, what? Just
Yeah.
totally miss
Yeah,
it.
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I wish I could. I know a little bit of Spanish, but that's about it.
I know Spanglish, if that counts.
Yeah, yeah.
K.
What American doesn't?
I know. Ko Esero El Baño. Just, yeah, something like that. Yeah. If I got any Spanish viewers, they're probably pissed at me right now. Sorry, guys. Looking at it, not too much going on in the game itself. There's that 3-gate robo over on Naccer's side of things. Same thing? Is it? Yeah, same thing. Going off for Hoesa, so good call right there, Cricket. Actually, perfect call. So we're gonna be.
My calls for this whole game will be perfect. Trust me in that. No, I'm just joking.
These.
I'll PvP.
Stick to it. Just be like, yeah, at 8:17 they're gonna engage.
Yeah.
In the base.
Yeah,
just make some obscene call. Yeah, 39 minutes. There's going to be a DT drop that just wipes out everything. There's going to be a mothership and carriers. All of a sudden, a Terran drop is going to come through there.
a Terran is all the time.
All of a sudden, the Terran comes onto the map. Just whoa,
Just starts nuking everybody.
Yeah. By any chance, did you watch any of DreamHack?
Yeah, I got to see. I didn't get to see too much of it, but got to see a little bit.
I was on my Thanksgiving vacation, so I got to go straight fan mode and just watch games and end after end. So I pretty much watched like almost the whole tournament. It was so fun. Any chance did you catch the Happy versus Todd game, Millennium Todd?
No, I heard about it though.
That was probably one of the more infamous games since one of the earlier MLGs. So many nukes were dropped by Happy. Like he could have just gone and killed Todd, but he just sat around just nuking everywhere he possibly could, and eventually let the Protoss catch up. It was pretty ugly, but it was so entertaining to watch. I think that game went for like an hour and 10 minutes. Oh,
nice.
You can hear Dana is just exhausted.
Yeah, I mean that's rough having to cast games like that. It's like a goodie game or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, they're pretty much just these players. They're just building up their army, getting their immortal count out. Once again, Naccer. No, okay, they both have 2 immortals. So actually, Hoesa's a little bit ahead this time. Now he did opt for getting a observer out. I don't really see the observer for Hoesa, so looks like Naccer's still ahead. He has the observer and 2 immortals, so he's going to get a good scout on what's going on. Hoesa, the observer's just now coming out, and so I fear for that observer's life. They might be able to catch him. And
I think he saw it kind of momentarily and kind of tried to chase it down, but I don't think he'll be able to get it just yet. Oh, man. Hoesa smelled blood.
Yeah. Once again, they're just building up that immortal count. They're making sure they're not supply blocking themselves. Hoesa actually ahead in supply this time, but Naccer actually already has another immortal queued up right behind the next. So they are pretty close to one another. Checking the units tab, the main thing. Wow, the only difference is Hoesa has 2 more zealots and 1 sentry, and then he has actually a few more probes. So it feels like Hoesa's actually just playing a little bit better. He has just a little bit more than the other Protoss player.
Yeah, definitely possible. I wonder if also, I mean, well, the fact that cutting probes is definitely, or just workers in general, lower league thing, but also at the same time, I'm wondering if maybe that has anything to do with the timing, or at least the focus of the composition. Because right now, looking at what Naccer is doing, he's just pumping out unit after unit like that. He already had another immortal queued, so looks like he's just going to try to get as many immortals right now as possible as he can and just go with a huge push. And I think Hoesa's just maybe banking on the fact that Naccer might push out at him instead of the other way around. And both players are getting a decent scout. And I saw an obs. There it is. Right now, Hoesa's getting a good scout of the base, and he's going to look at the base of Naccer like, this looks familiar or similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, and Naccer's I think he's gonna make the good call and say, hey, if we're doing the same build, I'm gonna go ahead and expand. I mean, it does look like Hoesa is building up those minerals, so he might actually. I hope that's what he's doing. I hope that he's saving up for Nexus, but I'm waiting for a probe to actually go and lay it down, as he's almost at 600 minerals now. Naccer's still spending his money better. And this is kind of one of those situations where Hoesa's kind of been ahead this whole time. He's had a little bit more of everything. And now, at just that one brief moment of banking a lot of minerals, he could be behind. But, of course, there goes the Nexus. It goes down before Naccer's. But Naccer hopefully will be getting that up sooner, or maybe he was just waiting for the Protoss to expand before he pushed. But I don't know. That Sentry is full energy. It can lay down 4 shields.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one's kind of all you need right there. With one push, if you could trap enough units just with those sentries, you only need about what 3, maybe even 2 at that point to get a good trap on on an army that's coming up that ramp. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, as long as it only takes 2 shields at most to get a good trap. So it really, it all comes down to the control of the player. I do like that Hoesa is getting his upgrades going. I believe that he got his weapons +1 done, and he's working on armor. Naccer already has no, he doesn't have any. He's just starting his +1 and now just getting his Nexus. So though Hoesa kind of had a little memory fart there, it took him a little while to get the Nexus. I still feel like he's playing better. He's a little bit ahead as he's getting everything just a little sooner.
Yeah, no, he's got that going down for him. Also, the thing I think right now, just for Hoesa, the robotics bait just finished up, so he could pump out some Colossus, and going standard Hoesa getting a Warp Prism. So actually, this is a great map for Hoesa right here. He sends that Warp Prism around the backside. That's actually going to be fairly hard for him to defend, especially now that he's concentrated, staying at the front of his natural. But yeah, no, it's just funny. You're just waiting for one of these players to throw down their natural Nexus. You're just like pulling up money. You think they're going to throw down a Nexus. Meanwhile, you facepalm while they watch him do another warp, in of units. Oh, stop it, stop it.
Yeah, well, and like they just they max out on one base, just saying who's going to expand first. You can have all those crazy things, but I mean these armies are beastly. I'd never want to go up a ramp and try and face it. So once this natural goes down for Naccer, looking at the Harvester tab, we can see Hoesa is ahead in Harvesters, and that'll probably continue for him to be ahead. He's adding on those Colossus, getting Warp Prism, so Hoesa's going in a lot of different directions right now, because he can. I mean, there's no way that Naccer's going to be able to do anything as of right now, so Hoesa's just kind of spreading out his tech a little bit, putting his money in a few different places. But the main thing that he's got to worry about is Hoesa has been the one to supply block himself little by little in this game, where Naccer's really staying on top of it. I've only seen one supply block this whole game, where Hoesa I've seen minor supply blocks about 3 different times. So he's giving opportunities for Naccer to come back, but at this stage in the game, you can't do anything until you get the Colossus.
Yeah, no, definitely, I absolutely agree. And also, it's kind of funny looking at the side of it. Aside of the supply blocks, he's actually still ahead in supply and actually has a bigger probe count right now. He's actually up to a total of 40 and Chrono boosting out a few more of those. And actually, I like that out of both players that are actually utilizing the Chrono boost. It's something you kind of see pro players and up in the Masters level actually forget after a while. Certain point, you would think a lot more players are going to be disciplined with their Chrono boosts and utilizing them more, but literally they just kind of forget about it until the point where they really want to do upgrades. They don't do it for probes or anything else. And oh my god, we got an engagement going on right in the front of Hoesa's natural, and I mean all this stuff is just going to get wiped out. But actually, there's quite a few immortals right here. Look at that, the immortal count's huge.
Yeah. He focused down the Colossus. He didn't have Colossus. He maybe saw a time of vulnerability, but one thing is that Hoesa has the defender's advantage. He can warp units in right there. There was no proxy pylon. I feel like Naccer just kind of just A-moved and like closed his eyes and prayed. Sent up a few Hail Marys there because he didn't have any follow-up to it. He just kind of did it, and now he actually reinforced with Stalkers instead of